If you know even a little about Sabrina Carpenter, you already know she's built her whole thing on murdering men in her music videos, 2 years running now, and critics loved her for it, calling her a feminist icon. Then she put her own album cover out, her on her knees with a man's fist wrapped in her hair, and the same crowd that had been calling her an icon turned around and called her a sellout to the male gaze instead. Same 2 years, same fans, same critics, and somehow both verdicts stuck, which I don't think is an accident anymore. I think I actually figured out what's really going on with her, and it's really not what either side thinks. Now look, I know what you're already thinking. Pick a side, right? Genius subverting expectations, or just performing feminism while selling the same old thing underneath. But here's the part that's actually strange. This contradiction should be tearing her image apart, and instead it just keeps making her bigger. She gets to be the woman murdering men in one video and the woman on her knees for one in the next. And somehow, instead of cancelling each other out, the two sides just feed each other. Once I noticed that, I stopped caring which version of her is the real one, and I started wondering if the contradiction was ever actually the problem. You already know the pattern by now, and honestly, it's not new information at this point. It started back in 2023 with Feather, where catcallers get run over and the photographer gets decapitated in an elevator door, and it just kept escalating from there, all through the short and sweet era. A robbery gone wrong, a shared boyfriend killed by accident with a chainsaw while she and Jenna Ortega fight over him. By the time think pieces started calling her a feminist folk hero for it, and compilation channels started stitching the kills into highlight reels, nobody was really shocked anymore. Then her song Tears comes out, and she's narrating her own pattern on camera, joking that someone has to die in every video, and she's sorry, but they'll always be remembered. None of it plays as genuinely menacing since it's shot glossy and over the top, more board game than horror movie, which is exactly why critics found it so easy to wave the flag for her in the first place. There's a ranking website now, and people argue about her best kill the way they'd argue about a franchise's best fight scene. It's a well-documented bit, and I don't think restating the list adds anything you don't already know. What's actually more interesting is what happened 6 days after her song Manchild dropped. Manchild is Carpenter calling grown men useless children who need managing, all in one song. 6 days after it came out, she revealed the cover for her next album herself, her on all fours, a man's hand fisted in her hair. A domestic violence charity in Scotland put out a statement saying the image leaned on old ideas about women as property, and some critics just called it degrading outright. And I bet this is the part you're not expecting, because her own fans couldn't agree on it either. Some were furious, pointing out how strange it looked for a self-described man-hater to pose like that for a man, while others said the whole thing was obviously a joke, a bit, and that anyone offended by it just didn't get the reference. That's one fan base, genuinely split, arguing with itself about what its favorite artist actually believes, not two separate camps of haters and defenders. Honestly, I don't think the photo is the scandal people wanted it to be, since it's shot like a fashion campaign, lit and staged within an inch of its life, and nobody in that frame actually looks like they're in danger. Carpenter didn't apologize. She posted an alternate cover 2 weeks later, joking it was approved by God, and moved on like nothing happened. That should have killed the story. It didn't. And just when you'd think this had all blown over, it came roaring back in April this year, when both accusations finally landed in the same sentence. She released a video called House Tour, a heist clip with Margaret Qualley and Madeline Klein, 3 women robbing a house full of men who never see it coming, all played for the same glossy camp as everything since Feather. And one critic online accused it of saying all men are stupid, then in the same breath asked if Carpenter was only sexualizing herself because she didn't trust the music to sell on its own. One person, one paragraph, holding both charges at once, and that basically means this had been one argument wearing 2 different costumes the entire time, not 2 separate debates that happened to collide. That's the moment this stopped being about Sabrina Carpenter specifically, at least for me, and started being about something bigger than her. Because here's what actually stopped me cold, and I know when I say academic paper, you're probably picturing something nobody's ever actually going to read, but stay with me. About a year after that album cover first went public, an actual academic journal published an actual peer-reviewed paper defending it. It's built around a term called heteropessimism, dressed up in enough footnotes that it basically functions like a legal defense. The short version, basically, straight women are allowed to act disgusted with men without ever actually leaving them. That's a real argument, by the way, and I'm not mocking it. But sit with the timeline for a second, because it took Britney Spears the better part of 15 years to go from tabloid punchline to sympathetic icon people wanted to protect. It took the internet about 12 months to build Sabrina Carpenter a citation. None of that makes the bind fake, just old. Women in pop have been stuck in some version of this since Madonna. Carpenter didn't invent it, she just found a faster way through it. By the time critics were still fighting over whether that cover was empowering or embarrassing, she'd already turned the whole thing into a bit on Saturday Night Live, replaying the photo as an innocent accident from a sketch gone wrong, mock arrest and all. And in a magazine profile that same fall, months before any academic touched the subject, she was already calling the image about control, about choosing when to hand it over and when not to. She had her own theory ready before the theorists did. Now I know that might sound like I'm giving her too much credit, but I don't think Sabrina Carpenter is confused about any of this. And I really don't think she's sitting around waiting for someone to resolve the contradiction on her behalf, because from where I'm sitting, she got there first. The bind is old, the internet just runs it faster now, fast enough that a controversy and its own rescue plan can show up in the same calendar year. Someone else is going to kneel for that exact photo eventually. Someone else is going to get handed the same accusation, villain in one headline and fantasy in the next, and have an academic paper ready to defend her before the backlash even finishes trending. Sabrina Carpenter isn't the last woman this happens to. She's just the first one fast enough to cash the check before anyone finished arguing about which one she actually is.